ne tukakanya fena ne tukakana n'oyo ow'amajjo omukulu ne tutandika kwogera ebyekikulu n'agamba okay tuwulidde gwe oyagala engagement ekyo tugenda contactinga Muhoozi tumugambe mu meeting mu sorting issues zamu. My name is Tinkasiimire Barnabas, who represents Buyaga West constituency, and I'm a candidate in the ongoing party. On Saturday evening, I encountered an unfortunate incident which I have never met in my life. That I had fueled my vehicle at Ruby's, the one which is opposite Makerere College. And I realized I had forgotten some stickers which were being printed at NASA. So I called the printer to bring them, and he said, in 20 minutes I will be there. I pulled out the car from the fuel pumps and drove to a parking lot to wait for 20 minutes because I wanted to set off and go to the village. Immediately, I think I had settled in like for a few minutes, like 3 or 4 in that parking lot. I opened the door to buy some maize. I love maize, eating maize from a vendor who had come. And indeed, as I had finished buying it, as I was eating, a group of armed men came and grabbed my hand, this right hand, which had the maize cob. Now, this one was still free, so I jumped up and held there is a holder of the door, on the door of the driver, up. I held it strongly, so they started pulling me. The 4 could not manage to pull me, and I think one decided to go and use the other door to push me. Then the other group of army men realized these 4, the struggle was taking long. They also came out of the van, the drone, and they struggled with me, pulled me out of the car, then drove me to their vehicle. Dragged me to their vehicle, and I put my hand up, held on the drone. Then I resisted entering. They hit me badly. This side, you see this hand, it's feeling the jacket, but it's very, very swollen. They hit me here. They hit me on the head. Then, because they were hitting the head, as I was doing this, now I surrendered like to them. So they pulled me inside, and immediately they put me inside. They got a cloth, covered my face, and when they covered my face, they pushed my head down in the chairs and started beating. Driving away from the scene, and we drove for, I think, for a long distance, in my own opinion, because I did not know where we were going. They would only say, you are Mudomo today, we are going to take it, because I was shouting at them, stop beating me. Tunapiga wewe kwa mdomo yake. What is the problem? Me, I don't own guns. Why would you beat me? Because of speaking. Piga kelele mingi. So they started doing everything inside until some guy who I think had commanded them told them to stop beating me. They drove me to an unknown place. We reached that particular place because I was hooded. They removed me from the car, dragged me, took me to a house, then a particular room which they opened and then closed. When they closed it, because they had put him on handcuffs, I sat down, and in the process, I opened to see where because they had closed, opened this thing which they had put on like this, to see where I was. Then I was able to see that I was in a kitchen, which a room which used to act like a kitchen. I saw broken wood and a work table for kitchen made out of terrazzo. They had broken it. I think that room, other than being put there, it had been used, and there was a lot of struggle. And later on, I read some inscription on a room. I think somebody who had been put there had written that to some people, life is not for everyone. Those words spoke a lot of course, I was traumatized. They had taken away my shoes. Of course, they had removed them. They threw them away, I think, in the struggle. They removed them in the struggle at Ruby's. My trousers had been torn completely. I was like restless. But I checked, I still had my rosary in the pocket. So, and I pulled it out. I started praying, continued praying. Then they came to say they want to give me dinner. I told them, no, I don't want your food. I ate lunch. Then I kept there. It became dark. Then I knew now I am in their hands. In their hands is to comply to whatever they tell me. I kept with my handcuffs there. Then around, I think, midnight, there is a guy who came, huge, because when they were coming in, I was able to see. They were hooded. Then they said, check whether the hood is still on very well. Then this guy had not actually seen that I had tried to create some seeing space in it. So he said, no, he's hooded. So this guy came in with heavy escorts. He banged my head. You, why are you talking too much? Why don't you support the son of the president? I said, you don't need to beat me up like this. I support the president. I have been supporting the president for so many years, and which is very, very true. Very, very true. 100%. From the time he started elective politics with the same Ogerere, he went as far as Kamuli. I was a small boy. I went as far as Kamuli to campaign for President Museveni. In Kamuli. In Kamuli, we passed Palisa, all that area with the how do they call it? Is a Muganda man, a soldier, Kakoza Mutale's group. We campaigned, and this man won an election. I have been campaigning for. I told them, you are beating me for what? And no, you cannot love the father and you don't love the son. I said, for God's sake, this is an old man. He wanted to stand against his father. According to me, his father is qualitatively a better candidate. I had to speak for my candidate. So if I annoyed him, he would have called me. Honorable, come here. We talk over this. Then I would listen to him. But to grab me in this form, and you also come here to beat me up, it is unacceptable. And I don't think that this is how the politics of this country should be fashioned. He should copy the style of his father. That's what I was telling this man. And I was shouting up on my voice. Then he was saying, talk slowly. But you are beating me. Talk slowly. So I came down. So we started discussing. With that man, the one who had come, but he was hooded. So now I came to learn why I had been arrested, or why I had been kidnapped. And now I was in that state. In that state, then he said, tomorrow we are going to talk to Muhoozi. Then we arrange, you meet him, you discuss your differences and solve them. I said that is a better way of dealing with issues. Me, I'm a politician. I am not an army man. Anything that I do, I speak. I speak. For an army man can keep quiet and open his gun, the barrel of his gun. Me, I am not like that. The best I can do, I showed him his rosary, is to pray for you. But persistently for me, I earn by talking as a member of parliament or as an advocate of the High Court. So to say I am talking too much, it is unacceptable. It's unacceptable. He said, okay, we will discuss that. So that one went away. But before he left, he told these guys whom he was leaving me with to remove the handcuffs from me. 2, I saw them bringing a small mattress. It is for army, the one they normally carry on the head, on the back. A bed sheet of the army and a mosquito net. Because there are very, very many mosquitoes. I think I was near the lake. Either near swamps, something like that. But I did not hear frogs. But the mosquitoes were very, very many. Were very many. So I slept. In the morning, I was, because of the beatings and other things, I was feeling a lot of chest pain, a lot of fever. Then they opened to give me breakfast. Breakfast, I told them, I don't need breakfast, I need a doctor. I need medication. Then they moved around, brought somebody who gave me drugs. Drugs, they said they have diclofenac. Indeed, it was, they gave me 3 tablets, which were sealed, because I was now asking myself, are they going, because I asked them, can't you bring my doctor? I told them the names of the doctor. They said, no, we don't have that permission. That man, other man, whom I had, who before he left, he said he's called Shaban. So I kept telling them, can't you call Afande Shaban to at least call this doctor of mine from Mulago Kawempe, and he comes and treats me, They said, we are going to do that. But they insisted I must drink their porridge. This guy who was mean-looking, with hoods around him, with a long beard like this, with very red eyes, holding a cable, a wire cable. I knew the next time he was going to hit me, because already I was having swollen wound here. This side, but the back is I'm in total pain. Touching the head, I have a cut here. I said, this man, if he returns to beating me. So he said, you drink. I drank half of the porridge. I don't know why he was forcing me to drink that porridge. What was in it, God will tell, or time will tell what was in it. Then after that breakfast, there is another person who came. He talked to me. I think he was not very senior, and started, pour down, honorable. He did not beat me. He did not beat me. Save for the one who came at night, is the one who banged me. Then this one went. After lunch, there was a guy who came in, and was in rare, but also hooded. Hooded, talked to me about the issues of Muhoozi. I said, yes, Muhoozi, if you want, I actually said, if you want him to be a head of state, let the father sit with him and tell him so many things. Because if he has not learned these things, I told that man, I said, he's not the best candidate for us to field as NRM after President Museveni. He would be a better candidate before Amin. Before Amin, not after President Museveni. And I insisted, you people, you are saying you are teaching people Runyankole. You are teaching people Runyankole by bringing people like Eddie Mutwe here. Do you know what you are communicating to the world? That all the Banyankole should be targeted, including Barnabas Muchiga. Because these people, after you, they can't distinguish when I speak Ruchiga, whether it is not a Runyankole or a Ruchiga. They will just bang my head. I was pleading with these people, stop torturing people. After lunch, of course it was evening, I went to sleep. I prepared my bed to sleep. I slept. Then at night, towards midnight, I suspect, because it when you estimate the time, it was midnight. The guy, another one, heavily guarded, came in with hoods, with hoods. Then they said, cover him. Of course, when I start hearing them coming, I had learned that now the hood which they had given me was part of my uniform. I would cover it. I would put it on the head. Whether it is covering the eyes or not, it is them now to. If they would not insist that they tie it again, I would leave it there and also see what is going on. This guy said, I have come to release you. I said, at night, where are you taking me? Why don't you release me during the day? During the day. I have been sleeping. It will be morning. I said, no, I'm going to drive you at your home. I said, okay, thank you very much. But of course, I knew even when I was giving my opinion, it was not mattering. So it would not matter. He had come, I had to take me wherever he wanted. So he said, dress up. As I was dressing up, he said, we are releasing you on 3 conditions. 1, you should stop talking about Muhoozi and think about supporting him. 2, you should, as you go outside, please do not reveal where you have been. 3, I have not told you where I was because I did not know. No, in the kitchen, yes. I was in the kitchen. In the kitchen, there were no saucepans. It was an abandoned place. Then the 3rd one, they said, we have your telephone number. We are going to arrange a meeting with you since you are interested in talking. You talk with Muhoozi directly. I said that's very perfect. I would have an opportunity not to be arrested. That's what I told the man. But the issues of not talking, I said, that may be difficult because me, as a member of parliament, I am voted to come to the house to speak. Parliament comes from a French word called parler. Parler means to speak. I told him, issues of not explaining, how will I explain where I have been? I didn't bring myself here. I was going to my constituency, I had filled my vehicle. I am in this place. For 2 days, I am sure my family is worried. My voters are worried because they were in the field. My chief campaign manager was in the field and he expected me to have arrived. How will I explain this? But nevertheless, I accepted the leave. Again, tied properly. This time, so many folds of that cloth. Tied properly, you do not see anything. They held my hands like this, dragged me to a waiting vehicle because I would hear it sounding. A running car, you would hear it. Then finally, they said, step here. I stepped. I realized I was again in a drone. Whether it was the other one or not, I don't know. Because next to where I was seated, this other side was a soldier, and this other side was another soldier. So it must be a kamunye or a drone. Then behind, because as I entered, they put my head down in the chair. Then they started counting themselves. 1, 7, 8. They were 12 people in the kamunye, in the drone. I'm a man. They drove me, I was worried. Are they taking me to Karamoja? Am I in Karamoja? But of course, the VIPs in Karamoja, they are very few. So I was strong that I am either in Buganda or in Kampala. So now they drove me and the distance took long. So I knew either I am going to be dumped in Kamuli because we were going on hops. And you know, I had been beaten. The pain was still very strong. I had not taken big painkillers. I was really in pain. In pain every time they would hit a hump, I would feel it. Finally, we reached a particular place on a hill where they got me out of the car. They held my hands, got me out, and when they got me out, they put me on the side of the road, which was a pavement, and they removed my wood, the clothes they had put on my face. Then the man who was in front, I think was their commander, the one who had come to release me, he gave me 10,000. That this is going to be a transport for us. We are lost. We don't know where we are. We are going. Well, let's find our way, but this one will make you reach home. Then I waited for them to go. They drove off. They continued up here. Down here, there was a boda man coming. I signaled him. He saw me, and he stopped. So I dragged myself slowly. Remember, I had no shoes. The trouser which had been torn, during the day they had removed it from me and gone to sew it. So I was no longer having a torn trouser. A torn trouser. I crossed, and finally, I got on a border. The border, I asked him, "You were in which place?" But before I could, as I was going, I saw a poster of some lady hanged, and I went to read. It is on Lubaga North. So I knew now I was in Kampala. So I went to the border man to ask him, which place is this one? He said in Namungona, near the Orthodox Church. There is a road called Rosaria. There is another road as you go to Kasubi before you reach Rosaria. That road. I think that road going up, that's where they dropped me. Because I immediately picked the border, we descended and quickly reached in the road, joining Rubiji from Kasubi on Namungona. He took me because I wanted a border who had a phone. Unfortunately, this boy, although he rescued me from this place, he did not have a phone. I told him to stop me at the marketplace of Kawempe. That's Kawempe market is my area. That's where I picked a border who knew my home, who could quickly help me to call. I had no phone. It was late. So I reached, he took me to home. I rang the bell 3 times. I think it terrified the people who were inside. But the confidence also came in that I have dogs at home, very rough dogs. But when I am the one coming, they don't bark. And I think that's how Madame suspected it. So I used the phone of this man, the border man, to call my wife. My wife, when he saw, he answered. And he talked on the phone that I'm the one on the gate. She almost collapsed on the phone. She couldn't believe at this time of the hour. It was 1:30 when I reached home. They opened the gate and I entered. Very afraid, very exhausted. Then they called in the doctor, a family doctor, to examine me, to do some medication, urgent medication, and which I think they did some heavy painkiller injections, and they also took many samples because I narrated what I went through. It went through quickly his mind that we needed to find your blood samples to start testing whether this food which you took, the porridge which you took, which they forced you to take, whether you could have taken poison in it. And now, of course, that is for the medical world. I'm waiting for the results. And this was yesterday night when I was released. So during the day, my wife had reported the case to police. I also went to make a statement where I was to also get the car which had been at police. And it took us almost the whole day. Then I went home, and that's when I called my good friends that I want to address a press conference, because I was hearing people saying Barnabas has abducted himself. I'm not that coward. Under whatever circumstances, I have told the son of the president that does he know that me at my level. I have even told the President Museveni that at my level, as a member of parliament and an advocate of the High Court, even when all those tools are removed from me, I have land I can go and dig. I have said it. And during this period when we have gone for campaigns, I have demonstrated that I am a serious worker. I have planted 31 acres of cocoa. 31 acres of cocoa. Even when I go to campaign, when I return at night, I have bought these long torches of security men. I put on my gumboots, my gloves, and go to look at what happened during the day when I was not there. Which cocoa is drying up that needs replacement, I put sticks on them. Very early in the morning as I wake up, I go to the garden to make sure those things are replaced. I'm not this type of people who cry far. No. I'm self-made. President Museveni did not know me. I have not been pulled by anyone. The one I can praise is my God, who gave me the intellect. That at the time I went to Makerere University, it was the only university where I had to qualify on merit to be sponsored by government. To be sponsored by government. And from there, the story is different. I worked with the First Lady for the first 5 years in dealing with the issues of orphans, widows, and street children. They can check my records. I worked hard. I am not this type who cries far. Even when I came to parliament, you have seen I am on record. Taking bribes is not my job. You hear members of parliament asking, where is Rubangatie? God is in heaven. Is not anywhere. God is, that's what I tell them. God is in heaven. Is not anywhere. They are looking for Rubangatie. Me, I am not in that group. I am not in that group. I have pleaded with the son of the president that you are a son of the president, me, I'm a son of a peasant. Why are you fighting me? Why are you fighting me? Speaking or not supporting you should not lead you to torture me like this. No, you are torturing very many Ugandans. They are starting to hate us. Me, I'm a Westerner. I have to tell him. I have met people who say, I don't know where we will hide you, Honorable Tinkasiimire. Because when the pangas start yielding, you may also go in. Of course, if they hide me, they may not hide all my children. Where will they cover I don't know where they will find them. I have been privileged to go to US, to go to UK. I have seen the people who have grown in exile with their families. These people who participated in the past regimes and misbehaved. The group of Amin, who thought Amin was everything. Amin was removed. Obote, who thought Obote was everything. Their families have grown in exile. And they are there. They are there. Now we have a regime of President Museveni who has tried to work hard to stabilize this country, to develop this country. And the Ugandans still believe him. Even when he makes a mistake, they say, President Museveni can continue. Now we have his son who thinks he can either overthrow him. Me, I don't know the arrangement. I don't want to say I have had a conversation with the President Museveni where I have said, this is my son. You support him. He has not told me so. So I am still a supporter of President Museveni. Period. Even when I have the chance of meeting Muhoozi, I will tell him, behave yourself. You are making us being hated. Use the army within the law. If you have issues with the people and they have committed offenses, take them through the police process. Send the police to arrest them. But this thing of arresting people, taking them, abducting people, kidnapping people, taking them to teach them Runyankole. Who told you that everyone wants to learn Runyankole? I was at Makerere University. The reason why I could not speak for the 3 years in Uganda, every Muganda you would talk to, you do not want, you would speak in English, you would speak in Uganda. So the more you insist on holding people to a particular direction, they resist you. And when they resist you, sometimes the consequences are not good. We want to live in this country where everyone will be happy, where everyone matters. Even the opposition, we must accept that our constitution provides for freedom of speech. We must accept that our constitution provides for multipartyism. If the other people are in a different party and you do not agree with them, it does not guarantee that you should go and persecute them the way he's doing. Even us who are within the political party, he should not think that NRM is a church where the Pope must speak and everyone must continue following. No. In a political party, you have participants who have equal rights, where you can engage. That is the engagement that I want. What President Museveni has taught us, he will engage you, he will bring stories around himself, he will bring ideas and ideology. And he say, don't you think this is a better ideology? And sometimes he convinces you. You may disagree with him, but he will have made his point. That is the type of engagement that I would want to see. And of course, my family and I, we are heavily tortured. We have opted for a civil action. My wife had reported a police case where the police file is complete because I made my statement, and there are a number of statements. I don't know whether they will ever forward it to DPP or they will ever even go, because after knowing whether they will ever go to question General Muhoozi to put his opinion on this file. That one, we closed it, but I have assembled my legal team to take on a civil action of fighting for my rights. I do not have, yes, you are very powerful. You can conduct yourself as a deputy god in Uganda, in Uganda, but the courts of Uganda provide that I, the nobody, the son of the peasant, I equally have rights. And I will go to court with my team of lawyers who are here, that they can be enforced. I can get justice. Of course, a civil action largely has to do with penalizing the country, which the army men we are working for. We have evidence, we have already a video, I have shared it with your president, showing the army men, although they are hooded, but at least court can know that this is a preserve of UPDF. After recently we passed a law making uniforms of UPDF a preserve of UPDF, so you cannot claim that these were either Barnabas's goons who were hired and we are putting on UPDF uniform. They were carrying guns. I don't even know the shop where they buy guns. I have never hired a gun. My gun is Rosary. It's here. It's here. It is this one. Every time I go to big functions, they ask me, have you carried a gun? I tell them, this is my gun. They laugh. They laugh. But I am very, very serious. This is my gun. I do not have any intention one day of carrying a gun. Even when he has said, those ones who say, when I speak, they are again going to come for me. Even if you come, I have spoken. Come and take me, go and kill me. Please kill me with my rosary. Don't take it away. First check before you shoot me, is my rosary in my pocket? Then you shoot me and kill me. I die, but you will also one day die. And I want to thank my family members, largely my wife, my children who prayed with me, my supporters in the constituency. I want to thank, I believe this matter went to the speaker. The speaker must have called the president to intervene, such that I was released at a short notice. The person, one of the persons I am standing with in the constituency, he was telling voters that I am going to be released after elections. After elections. I am glad that I was released at a short notice, and I am going to face off with him. If he thought he's going to run away with the flag, I am sorry. I am sorry, he's going to be defeated. Then there are those ones who say that we know how we are going to deal with the Tinkasiimire. Tinkasiimire, you can only deal with him through the voters. Tinkasiimire, you can only deal with him through an engagement. I have, President Museveni himself has called me, I have talked to him on a number of issues, including the age limit thing. I told him I will not vote for you. I am in Israel, I am praying, I consulted, and the people said I vote alongside with them. I did not bow down even when I talked to the head of state. And that is a leader that I respect. That's why today we are in a party primaries. Every rally that I am holding, I am campaigning for President Museveni. Because I may not have the chance again of going to campaign for him there. I am campaigning for him or meeting the same people to vote him in 2026 and even beyond. Because for me, I still think he's a good leader. The age limit, he removed it. So you can't put it before him. It is not part of the law. You will be dealing with the post-mortem. But the choppers, what are you talking about? Even if I use a boda, even if I use a legs to walk, or a bicycle, that man will not survive. I want to tell you the truth. The voters, how many voters have ever stepped in a chopper? You just see, but he unfortunately, he comes from a very humble family, where I am sure he ever slept down on the ground without even a mattress. But now, because he's married to a Muzungu and they can sponsor everything, that's not his money. If it was his money, he would think twice about it. He would think about the voters. He would think the welfare of his people. A secondary school which we started in his constituency, and it collapsed because of the teachers were not paid. How much did he hire the chopper? That was too much money. It would pay fees for so many children.
What's your message?
No, I have said.
Are you supporting him now?
Now I can't be a mad person. I have told you I support President Museveni. As long as President Museveni is standing, he is still my candidate. The issues of supporting Muhoozi, I think he also supports his father. I would be mad for you to start saying, I support Museveni, then I have only one vote.
Honorable, see you, Honorable or is doing elections. You will have some acts. Could we call this the comeback? Because we have not been in the scene. So you try to come back to
Which sin? Which sin? Have I not been in Uganda? I've been in Uganda. Which sin? I have told you I have been in my garden. Which sin? You are TVs. I want to ask you. I became a member of parliament. Is there anyone who petitioned me? I was sworn in. I am finishing a term. Have I been declared not to be a member of parliament? You say a member of parliament who has been participating in a parliamentary debates that he is coming back on a political scene. I have been on this scene. Maybe you have been away. Abanamawulire mwena mbasiima kujja kutuwa omwaganya guno kwogera nammwe ku weekendi ku lw'omukaaga ku lw'eggulo nga ssaawa 11 ssaawa 12 nali ku Rubies ye fuel station essundiro ly'amafuta eriri opposite Makerere College School kukubo ng'ova Wandegeya ng'ogenda Nakulabye ng'agenda ku Full Gospel awo tuyitako ku round eyo ku bitaala ebyo tuyita Full Gospel otanaba kubituukako wansi awo waliko fuel station. Nali nga kamala kunywa amafuta nga ngenda mu kyalo ndindeko omukyala yali ng'akola posters zange nkundeetera stickers yalanga ambye 20 minutes nga mulinze mu 20 minutes awo ningulawo akasuuli kulya kubanga nali maze olunaku lwonna nga neewuuba nga siridde naye nga kangula akasooli njire nga akalya akafumbi nga nkyakalya nendaba agasajja agamera enyama nga gali mu uniform ne gajja ne gakwata omukono ogwaba n'akasooli kati guno nembuuka nenkwata ki waggulu ku motoka waliko ehando ng'ogenda kufuluma mu motoka awokwata nenjinywezeza ddala kati bano ne basika ono yakutte okugulu okulala kuliwa mu motoka omukono guli waggulu kati bano abasika you are pulling a leg obeera ne mukono guno obeera ku small advantage yokunzijayo kati awo ne twereega abantu bana ku muntu omu ne batwale okugulu kw'empali engateemu then abalala bwebalaba ng'obudde bubatwala ne bavaayo abalala bali nga mukaaga ne babeera 10 ne bankwata then ne mpalula kuntwala muki mu motoka ebiseera bino yebayita drone yalaawe ng'ekola ki eyimiridde erina abalala abasirikale nga bagikumye nga buli omu bamutadde ku gun point then awo ne bantuusa ku mulyango nenkwata waggulu y'omulyango awo we bankubira emigo ey'embooko z'amasanyalaze gye baalina abaali waawo bakiraba waliwo muzeeyi asavisinga motoka yajja n'atunulira yambulidde ngu eyo vidiyo obwagitunulira amaze ennaku 2 nga naye tayeebaka bwatigeza kwebaka nga yahamuka ng'awulira embooko zivuuma finally ne bampalola ne banteeka mu motoka emu ne bansiba ekitambaala ku maaso omutwe gwange ne baguteeka wansi y'entebe ne bavuga finally ng'olwo bakuba nga mpogana temunkuba temunzita tujja kukuta mudomo yake nanga munsonyiwe nze mundeke katonda ajja kubawa omukisa mundeke naye ne bagumizaamu nga bakuba finally ne bantuusa egye baali nga bantwala emotoka ne bagiyimiriza nga bantadde n'okumpingo ne banzijamu ne bampalula mpola ne bantwala mu nyumba ne bagulawo ne bansuulamu omwo then ne baggalawo kati bwe baggalawo nga nali nga ntudde mu koona gye bansuula then nengezaako okutegeera wendi nenkola bwenti n'empingo zange nenkebera ndi luddawa kugenda kulaba ndi mu nyumba eringa ekiyungu ekyebata kyakozesa kubanga natambulako ne taapu nengicekinga ngetekola wano wakatopu bagimenya kirabika walimu struggle mu furniture yonna amadirisa walimu edirisa wano ku lugi nga lumu wano ne dowa eyingiramu wangulu waliwo provision ya glass wansi waliko bagala nayo bajasadda so awo wenalabira bweru nga wali eri nyumba ya mategura with overground trees bush around it then nenzirayo nentuula nehudu yange nabo still nga ndabe bigenda mu maaso n'empingo zange obudde ne buziba ne bajja ngo baagala kumpa emmere nengamba analidde nze ndya ekiwujulo kimu olunaku abo ne mbawona then ekiro nga ssaawa nga 7 ne wayingirawo omusajja yali heavily guarded nawe ng'ali wooded amaaso ge n'abakuumi be bona nga bali wooded n'asooka n'abuuza bano mumusibye amaaso oli n'addamu ngu yes alina wudu ye alina amaaso ge gasibi tamanyi ngo nakoze eki firimu njiraba yayingirawo naga nakuba MP gwe oyogera nnyo Kulwachi otawagira mutabani wa Museveni, kulwachi towagira Muhoozi. Nenga Katonda wange onkubira ki mukwano ndeka ndeka ate bwe namulaba enyimirira nentegeera onategeera ki olulimi lwenjogera kati nze oluzungu nenduvaamu nentandika kumubuulira ki mu runankole nembagamba egi nfuga teraza kutu egi mbeera egi teraza kutuha obwebembeza egi yokukwata omuntu otiine mushango mukandeeta mulegi mbeera baraza kutuha obwebembezi muraza kulira ndaza kulira nimwe muraza kulira kandi imwe orwanyu rujaba rubi niko nam. That's what I told him. I told him iwe notekereza habwenki tugumize mu kwagera President Museveni agerizeho kutamu balance nahuliriza n'abarugwara nahuliriza n'abakaramajongo Nobody Mao, I told him, Nobody Mao was abusing President Museveni. Betty Kamya was abusing President Museveni. Now he should talk to them, he engaged them, and now they are his good ministers. His ministers. Hatebe bimuli kukora, something that can be solved by a phone call. I am here. Why didn't Muhoozi call me in his office and we talk it over? If I had annoyed him. But in any case, you must know that me, I'm a politician. If I have a candidate, I will use all means to campaign to make sure that my candidate wins. Ndowooza wandi ntuteeyo kunjigiriza Luganda. Naye tebalwagala muli bubi. Muli bubi aboogera Luganda. Kakati awo lindako kati awo nga netukakanya fena netukakana n'oyo ow'amajjo omukulu netutandika kwogera ebyekikulu n'agamba okay tuwulidde gwe oyagala engagement ekyo tugenda contactinga Muhoozi tumugambe mu meeting musorting issues zamu ne mugambe ekyo ojja kuba okoze kirungi ojja kuba okoze kirungi naye bino ebyokutuswaza kukwata obuyinza n'otandika kubukozesa bwoti oba oswaza nzi awagira taata wo kubanga nawe nsuubira nga awagira kitaawe awo ne tukanya oyo gayi ye yababuulira ngu banzije ku mpingo ne banzija ku mpingo ndowooza yababuulira n'ekirala ngu bampe omufaliso akafaliso akabamagye nesuuka eyabamagye because nagiraba wandiiseko UPDF then ne net mosquito net byonna ne babindeetera nenjiya kubanga wafu naye noyiya awo yebaka you are not at your home okimanye oli muwambe oli muwambe tojja kuleeta lugezigezi kimberembere so nebaka ne bucha kumacha ne wajja olutalo olwokundeetera breakfast nga baagala nywe obuuki abulese aline omugo gwa waya y'amasanyalazi olina okunywa obugi buno nemugamba njagala ekikulu emmere ejja kugirya obugi naye musooke mundi mpitire dokita wange ne bagaana ne bagamba ffe tulina dokita waffe owulira otya nemugamba mpulira indeed emigo egye baali nga bankubidde mu motoka asaawa ezo etandise kukola ki kunyiga muno mpulira nga nsaasa ekifuba nga kimenya emikono wena nga nzimbye nakakano mugulaba omukono wano gujjudde mu kooti siri munene kutuuka ku level y'okufiiringa ne gukyazimbye wano nakuno wano ndowooza baali nga banyegana ki zino ezemagala ezebagyisamu ebyara bya mutwe bwe nawoogana nnyo kyekyaleka oliya yali ng'obutwali mu motoka n'agamba mumuleke so ono breakfast ne banforcinga nenywako then ne bandeetera oba musawo oba ki simanyi naye yalina diclofenac yampa busatu diclofenac busatu nengezaako kubabuzaabuza nti mbumize kubanga ntya buli kimu of course bwe baalaba ngu nywedeko ku bugi ne bakola ki ne bandeka ne baggalawo obusigadde even if I was feeling pain naye ntya buli kimwe kye bampa nkitya nkitya ne bwe kyandibadde nga kiyamba nze nkitya era nembeera awo poloje yaabwe negiteekaawo obudde ne butuuka bwa lanchi ne baleeta omuceere n'ennyama bo balowooza nze owange sirya nnyama ne mbagamba siyagala kulya mmere njagala musawo ne mbegayirira then obudde obwo ne wajjayo omusajja omulala nawe ne tugezaako kwogera ku ebyo ebifaanana ng'ebyola yali ekiro ajje teyankuba ye kuleka yankuba ekifaananyi yagamba yimirira nenyimirira ndowooza baali baagala kulaga ensi awendi ngubaanina ngusiri mufu kubanga abantu baali nga batandise to raise up their voices mu constituency yange nga batandise demonstrations so ebintu ndowooza ne speaker n'abitegeera n'abantu abakulu ne babitegeera ndowooza even the president n'abitegeera kubanga yamu very sure ngweno action eyakolebwa yali outside the law yali even outside the structural command eyeggwanga ne president yali nga takimanyi then awo ku lweggulo ne baleeta ekyeggulo akawunga n'ebijanjaalo nemanya nga ebijanjaalo bino bayinza kubanga tebatyaddemu butu nindyakako ensobola then nenebaka first of all ni mu room etali mutoyi so ntya singa kwatibwa kugenda mukabuyonjo ngenda wa naye bangambye ngukonkona naye bweru mpulirayo abamagye bangi ntyayo nyiza kugamba mbakonkone ne basooka kumbajula mpi nga ntira ddala nembeerawo mu mbeera zange Katonda nanyamba nakwatirira olubuto deni nenebaka ensi yemanyi Katonda yamanyi nenebaka mu pressure eyo kutuyana kukola ki then nga sawa nga mukaaga awawo then omulala oyo kamanda omulala nakomawo najja mumusibya amaaso kubanga nange nalinga nkitegedde ngobwe bajja nina okuteekako ekitambaala kye bampadde ne balaba ngwe asibye amaaso so ne bayingiramu najja n'atandika kwogera naye nabo baali nga bonna nga bali hudede nga siyinza kulaba owenjogera naye ne bagamba nzize kukulelizinga nzize kukusumulula naye ngenda kusumulula nkusaba toddamu kwogera toddamu kwogera ate kyandibadde kirungi otandike kwogera mutabani wa president ekyokubiri twagala kusaba obonaava wano toyogera gyovudde toyogera ngu twakukwata ne bagamba obwoyogera obwodamu kwogera tugenda kuddamu tukukime ebyawo wedde it is their right ontegeera buyinza bwabwe ontegeera naye nze nkimanyi nti Katonda yantonda teyampa maanyi ag'okwogeza mundu yampa kwogeza omumwa nampa omulimo gw'obwa MP njogeza mumwa nampa obwa pulida kubukola njogeza mumwa njogeza mumwa katongamba soogera nalyaki abaana bange n'abaliisa ki nga soogedde ekyokubiri ogamba sibuulira abantu gye mbadde ngenda kunyonyera nti famire yange abalonzi bange abaali nga baninze abantu abo abaali ku rubizi abandaba nga munkwata nga ndwana nammwe nga temuntwala nga kamera eze kubanga kukubaawo first of all ku rubizi awo waliwo kamera emonitoringa I think eya government emonitoringa hostel ebigenda hostel ya Makere College emonitoringa eri ekkubo waliwo ne kamera eziva ku kwa shopping arcade ya Hamu nazo zikubaawo wonna zikuba zalaba katemba eyo nga simu esasulire waliwo CCTV cameras ezachi eza Rubies waliwo supermarket kati ebyali webyo ogenda kubimenyako otya ate nze siri mu mbeera eyo kubanga nze Katonda yantondera kwogera yantondera kwogera era nja kwogera oba baagala kunzita bajenga bukyali bajenga bukyali olwo olunaku lwe Katonda lwonaaba nga akozesi ansaliddeewo ate famire yange naye gamba otubeesezaawo mu kwogera gumizaamu ng'oyogera kikikubeeseza MP oba ng'otoyagala ng'obuvaamu literally bubangamba kati akalulu nakasaba ntya nga soogera aka Museveni ngenda kukasaba ntya nga soogera obwo bonatandika kusaba Kamuhoozi bwe nayiga kwogera babeere feya ku bannayuganda eno ggwanga lya buli munnayuganda bategeere ngu bo bali mu magye bategeere ngu ffe tuli mu politics batulekereyo obo banaaba nga baagala kutwengeje nga mu area ya politics bajje twogere ebirowoozo byaffe bwe binaaba nga bisinga ebyabwe batukuratire naye bino ebyokugamba ngo bajja kutukwatisa amaanyi tebijja kukola kyekitideka ne twagala President Museveni wa magye saabalwanyi naye ayawula amanyi kino si kya mundu amanyi kino kyaki kya mundu kyekireka nakwata abali nga bamuvuma nga Betty Kamya ne Nobert Mao nabogereza mpola sawa zino bali ba ministers be nga bakola ki bamukolera naye bene byokutandika kugamba ngu buli munnayuganda ojja kumuyigiriza olunankole ogenda kututisa aboogera olulimi ng'olulwo ate nsuubira abantu abakola obuntu obwo bali katundu katini ku banankole n'obwolo batwala ngu bali haafu kulaba ngu eggwanga lyonna lisisimuka ne litandika kuyigganya abaali nga babayigiriza olunankole aboogera olunankole naffe abakiga tebatusoloola kubanga obwenjogera olukiga oyinza kugamba ngu njogedde olukiga olunankole nga tebatusoloola obuyinza bujja kutuvaako sisuubira ngu bujja kubeera mu ngalo zaffe kumala obudde buwanvu ngenze bwera eyo n'ensanga y'abasajja abalugwala abaali bawagera Amini bawangalidde eyo baya badduka kubanga baali mu mbeera zino ez'okugamba buli muntu yenna alina okwogera lulugwala bana baali nga bawegira bote buli omu alina okwogera lukyuli iriyo beri bawangalira eyo Bungereza yobasanga mu mawanga amalala sandyagadde mutuve mu buyinza then fe aboogera olunankole n'olukiga naffe batuwangangaze tugende mu nsi endala fe obwo basalamu kundirizinga nga bansibye ekitambaala ku maaso nga bantadde mu motoka ne bantambuza lwali lugendo luwanvu oba yali nga ssaawa namba simanyi oba baali nga banzije Kalamoja oba wa simanyi naye manyi ngo nali mu ffumbiro yeba abandoninga tewali sepiki n'amazzi tegatambula so then ne bantwala ne banteeka ku lusozi emmotoka ne bagiyimiriza ne banzijamu okkubo lyali erya chorus ne banteeka ku peva ne banzijamu babansipisa ku peva ne banzijako ekitambaala kyabwe ne bampa omutwalo ngu gwa transport ne bangamba ngu tubuze tugenda kunonya naffe kuba eryaffe naawe noonya ndowooza zino zigenda kutuusa waka za transport sawa 7 gwekiro then nentambula nalaba ekipande bano Katonda yanyamba ne bampamba budde bwa kalulu nendaba ekipande nengendako nenkisoma waliko kyamukyala then nendabako Rubaga North nentegeera nti wano Rubaga North is not very far teri wala newange then awo balinga basimbula waliwo n'akabodaboda nga kajja oyo omuvubuka namubuuza n'erinnya lye Senoga yalinga talina simu Senoga nanyamba nagamba agenda kuntwala then bwatwatuuka mu kkubo nentegera ngu talina simu kubanga esimu nali nga njagala ngikozese kukubira mukyala nga tusse ku geti nansuula ku katale Kawempe neninya nenkwata bodaboda bo ku katale abo bamanyi bandaba honorable nga tulimu nga tukiki story nembagamba story mpavu kati kasitutuusa waka omuvubuka nanteeka ku piki nanvuga nawaka amanyiwo nantwala ku geti netutuuka ku geti nenkozesa simu ye nasooka kukuba akade nenkuba akade naye bakawulira ndowooza bayekanga munda bwe bambuulira nenkubisa simu yoyo omusajja boda ne bagikwata then ne banzigulirawo nga ndi fureiru wenna nga naweddemu dda then of course yali shock but at the same time nga basanyufu kundaba kubanga bali bamaze ebbanga ddene nga tebebaka finally they had a sigh of relief kundaba ne bayita omusawo kubanga nali bubi nnyo omusawo n'atandika kunkebera n'okumpa medication strong painkillers Dr. Viane nanjanjaba nanzijjako ne samples endala n'agamba nenkyagenda kujja ntanaba kuva